to get people to really embrace the simple ingredients is one of the challenges, because I think we're led to believe that improvement is all about complexity. And actually, what I learned from people like Barry Harris was that simplicity, but knowing the ingredients, those simple ingredients properly, and them belonging to you and getting depth in them rather than having a lot of breadth, is far more important and rewarding than just trying to add on new stuff all the time without having the basics. In fact, I remember Leon, my first teacher, saying to me, I'm not asking for a good phrase. I'm just asking for a phrase. And I seem to say this to students all the time. Begin with something simple. And I feel that our job is to keep putting one foot in front of the other until the magic happens. So, for example, I'll often say to people, if I play for an hour, how many times, let's say for argument's sake, I've played 1,000 phrases. I don't know how many phrases it would be. Out of those 1,000 phrases, how many of them do you think I think were wonderful phrases? I may get one or two phrases, if I'm lucky, that feel, and I'm not trying to, say I'm amazing, because I'm telling you the truth. Maybe one or two phrases will make me go, oh, I like that. So I wish I could stop and write that down. Couple of phrases, if I'm lucky. And so, and I've done this for a long time. There are people that I look up to who've done it for longer or are just better, right? The point I'm trying to make to you is that, therefore, my job is not to find magic every single time I touch the instrument. It would be great, but I'm not a genius. And most people are not geniuses, but I can play. And therefore, I see my role as an improviser as putting one foot in front of the other, knowing my ingredients well enough to do that, laying the conditions for magic to happen. What I'm saying is, knowing stuff like this will always give me something to do, whether I heard a magical phrase or not. It's the exploration and the development of phrases that is the important skill to have, because I don't know if I'm going to play any of these things live when I actually play, but I do know that whatever I play, I have practiced turning phrases inside out, adding to phrases, subtracting from phrases, joining them onto a chord, using a surround note. If you're enjoying this lesson, would you please give it a like and subscribe to the channel? Hit the notification bell so you know when there's a new video. A positive comment in the comments section really helps as well. And if it's time to level up your playing and get some freedom, then consider joining us on Jazz Skills. More about that at the end. For now, let's get back to the lesson. Okay, so for me, phrase building in context is very different to out of context. Here's what I recommend you do first. First, work on creating phrases out of context. They're nothing to do with a tune, because people who can play a bit immediately go, how do I improvise over this tune? There's too much to learn about the language of improvising to go from not having freedom to improvising over a tune. And then they're going to go, all right, so I can get from the beginning to the end, but I don't like it. How do I improve it? It's wrong thinking. It should be, can we make some phrases? So we're going to learn how to make something out of nothing, okay? I'm going to just go 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in the key of C, nothing else. Okay, fine. Which beat did I end on? Exactly, 3. Have an awareness for where you are in the bar all the time when you're improvising. Fine, up and down is nothing, right? You will see if we keep exploring these little ideas, we're going to get experience and we're going to end up at some phrases we really like in the end. It always happens. Okay, so I'm going to play that phrase from any chord note of C, from C. From the third, let me do it again. 1, 2, 3 from C. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4 from the third. From the fifth. From the seventh. Fine. May seem like nothing but a scale exercise yet. Okay, what if I put a half step before the first note, under the first note? 1, 2, 3, 4. We've already got something. Okay, so when I put a half step before, I had to start on the 4 and, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1. If I want to put 2 half steps at the beginning of those lines, which beat do I need to begin on? 4, exactly. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1. 3 and 4 and 1. 2, 3, 4, and 1. 2, 3, 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3. Already we're starting to get lines that are more interesting. Let's go from that 4 thing again. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1. 2, 3, 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1. So already just by taking the simplest thing and starting it from different places in the scale, different chord notes, adding in 1 half step, adding in 2 half steps, now we're starting to get a feel for where that can go. Because normally you show somebody something like this and they're going to say, oh, I'm done with that, right? I wasn't surrounding a note, just adding extra notes before the beginning. Surrounds are more, if we do, say, a half step surround, would be more like that. 2, 3, which are also fine. 2, 3, 4, and 1. So this is a half step above, half step below, and then the phrase. Also a lovely idea. So back to the original phrase, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. Cut off the first note, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. 2, 3, 4, 1. 2, 3, 4, 1. Okay, now I'm going to say, what happens if I have 2 components? That's 1 component. I could join that to a chord, couldn't I? So let's go back to the original phrase. Okay. Most basic thing I could do, go up a chord. Then, from the 3rd, from the 5th, from the 7th. I'm doing these quickly just to show you so we can get through more material. You know what I'd be doing with a student? 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1. Because don't forget, this is not just about doing it in C. It would be nice if we could do it in F or maybe another key. I'm not one of these people that says you have to do everything in 12 keys. I know jazz musicians may scare you sometimes. I don't think everything needs to be in 12 keys right from the get-go, but I do think it should be more than 1 where possible. So the things we were talking about in the last session about knowing your progressions, knowing your chords, knowing inversions, they're going to connect to your improv as well, because what do you think improv is built up of? I mean, what we have available is scales, chords, or, you know, we can mess with those chords in various ways. We have connective material. Somebody mentioned surround notes. We have phrases. But, you know, these things need to be glued together. So, staying on this theme, now we've got a second component. We've got a chord at the end of each one. Then, from the 3rd, from the 5th, from the 7th. Okay, now I'm going to cut off the first note of each one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. 3, 4, 1. 3, 4, 1. 3, 4, 1. Haven't we come a long way already from 2, 3, 4? What if I just cut off the second note? Quite like that. Last one. Can really start to see a use for those. So this part is just taking phrases out of context. Nothing but the C major scale really involved and the chords that go through the C major scale. Then for me, the next stage is, and I'm saying stage, I'm not saying the next step. You know, we did 10 minutes of that today. Now we're going into the next bit. It's not linear. Get good at doing that. So that is something you can just do. I'm not talking about an hour's work, a week's work. I'm talking about work, right? So the next stage for me is doing that over progressions. Well, you made it to the end of this lesson, so I hope you enjoyed it. Consider joining me on Jazz Skills, where we'll take you on a real journey of fluency, not just throw loads of content at you, but really focus on your transformation, teach you which skills need to be in place, how to work on it, and support you all the way. So I hope you'll join me there. Thanks for watching, and bye for now.